XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim, issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions, dollars that expire in 1 year, ends July 19th. Terms, DKNG.co/predictions promo.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. The countdown clock is ticking down to the upcoming football season at Everbank Stadium, and tickets will be available tomorrow to see the Jaguars practice at 10 open training camp dates. Open practice dates will begin July 29th at the Miller Electric Center. Jaguar season ticket members will be able to secure their tickets beginning at noon, and the general public will be able to do so at 1 p.m. through the ticket link on the Jaguars training camp page. Remember, the Jags will be playing in Jacksonville this year before heading to Orlando for the next season. Right now, 77 degrees at 2:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
If you were listening to Crosstalk, you heard Taylor Dahl say 1 year ago today, Tom McManus joined the show. Mm-hmm. And look, it has been a year of so much fun. 13-5 was the Jaguars record.
We are 13-5.
We are 13-5. That's right. Exactly. We're expecting the Jaguars to improve over the next year, and I'm expecting us to improve over the next year.
That's right. Well, I tell you this, we have a lot of fun on this show.
We do. Absolutely.
We have a lot of laughs on the air and off, and that means a lot. Mm-hmm. There's no question about it. But I'm honored to be here, girls. It's been a great year.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank goodness. Well, or not. I don't know. Whatever you're into out there. Whatever, but it's been great. It's been awesome.
Do you feel like you've paid more attention to sports other than football in the last
sports.
year?
Yeah, but I'll always keep my eye on stuff, but not like, college baseball. I got into it because you guys are watching it. Yeah. I was like, I got to. And even baseball in general, I might look at the standings and look at the last 10, but normally I'm not really watching baseball.
Yeah, because you don't have a team other than the Cubs you like.
Cubs, maybe. But, no, I think so. Just, got to make sure, I know when we first started, I was like, damn, these girls know a lot about college football and baseball. I better get on I told my wife, too, I better start studying some stuff. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. They're ripping off names and stats and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't even know who these kids are. And then I've gotten better over time.
Like Jordan Walker. Did you know who Jordan Walker was before last night? Yeah.
No, exactly.
I do, when you are around people who have other interests, whether that's another team, another sport, that does help because you hear that person talking about these players and you may grow an interest or just want to root against them for fun sometimes. It's that type of thing. So same for me. I remember when I first, I think 2019 is when I officially, which is also crazy to think about, when I became a full-time member of Helmets and Heels. And even that, there was certain sports that, like golf, I wasn't watching golf on the weekends. And I could name the big names that everybody knew, but I wasn't going through lists and being able to be like, oh, they won this this championship here and they did this and da-da-da, and I wasn't caring as much. And then all of a sudden you get into a world where you're covering Players Championship for a full week long and you get to know some of these players a little bit more, and you're around people who love golf, and they're, you find these fun little stories. They're from Jacksonville, or they, whatever the case may be. And so it adds a level when you're around that. And so it is fun. I think that's one of the coolest things about this job. We all love football. That's the obvious.
That's the easy one.
That's the easy one. Right. But to go beyond that and learn new sports, like with soccer for me this last month, it's been really fun. It's been, and that's not promising that I'm going to go watch Man City games for Holland moving forward after this all the time. But when he's on now, I know, before I'd probably completely ignore it on the TV, and now I'll be like, oh, Man City's playing, there's Holland. And
or if you wake up on a Saturday and you realize Man City has a game on, you turn it on, and it's oh wow,
I could watch my guy play soccer right now. Yeah, so it is fun. It expands your knowledge in a lot of different things, and I think even our listeners, listeners. It's one of my favorite part about that, whether it's through the text line or out and about and people coming up and introducing themselves and being like, oh, I heard you guys talking about, Trevor with this stat. I was thinking about this, and it makes you think different ways, and it's really fun. And that's one of the best things about this job is just continuing to learn and, just the knowledge you get through being around people who are invested in different things and different teams and different sports and people and all of that.
Yeah. Well, our job is to know.
Yeah.
Like, it's know as much as you can, and then when you don't, you either try to wing it or you just be transparent. Be like, I don't know. Like, now, I don't know if, and this is no disrespect to all the beautiful gymnasts out there. I don't know if women's college gymnastics will, roll into my life. I will keep my eye on it now. Yeah, of course. But,
Brian will say you're welcome because college gymnastics is fun to watch, not just for me.
Yeah, of course.
But the moment someone's super invested into a team or an athlete, it ratchets it up, right? Like when Victor Hovland wins, any of the tour events, all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's Taylor's guy, right?
Right.
And
when
then
the Knicks were going through this, when the Knicks were going to the championship, you're like, Dan Hicken and Mike, but Dan is the one that for years when I was sitting on those shows doing updates, you heard him talk about the Knicks all of the time. And it's great because it was that you joke sometimes, and especially when it's droughts of teams who haven't won and you hear them just sad all the time. And then you get to see that little spark of them winning a championship. And we've seen multiple people in this building, whether it's their teams
almost
win championship. Yeah, win or go, we've seen. And that's what's fun too when it comes to Miami, when it comes to Florida, when it comes to Notre Dame, now the season we just had with the Jaguars. So it's fun to watch the people in the building get excited about the things that they love too. And that's what we do this for. We love it. It's fun. It's a good time. And we have debates and we have, the back and forths with the text line and disagreements. But at the end of the day, it's something we all really enjoy watching and learning more about. And it's something that we formed a relationship with people through just being able to watch a game. And
well, sports just resonates with so many people, and it's a great unifier, whether it's your team or the sport or what have you. You may not interact with somebody that you do on game day, like during the week. Maybe you don't see them. You're not just in the same circle, whatever. But then you get to the game and your next door neighbor is sitting right. You're not your next door neighbor, but the guy woman sitting next to you. You're high fiving, you're cheering,
they're hugging each other, and you're like,
many friendships have sprouted from whether it's tailgating next to another family or friend group, or sitting in the stadium
or a bar. You're sitting there watching it. Yeah,
it's a great diversion for life. You go watch a game and you forget about that bill or you forget about that thing that's happening or whatever it is in your life. And then for me, like, I always feel like sports is a lot like life. Everything you go through as an athlete or in sports, you go through in life. So they're great. It's just that's what's great about sports in general. Starting young and playing for as long as you can is you learn all those great things, those lessons, and then we get to talk about them. The highlights and the lowlights and the questions and this and that, going for it. Red cards, yellow cards, kicking them out of the damn side, all this stuff. We get to have fun doing it. So
we criticize the coaches when they make poor decisions,
got to.
Right? Or we praise them when they make the right decisions that nobody saw coming.
That was a strike, That was a strike. Tommy, when you were playing, was there moments that you were already thinking about the after and wanting to talk about it in some way? Did that cross your mind while you were still playing at all?
After, like my career after?
Yeah, when you weren't playing? No, you weren't there yet.
No, I thought I was hoping I'd play forever.
Yeah.
Whatever that meant. It was more than 5 years, but I'm very thankful for my 5 years. I'm thankful that the good Lord introduced me to Tom Coughlin at Boston College, and I'm thankful for Coach for bringing me down. And I'm thankful for Jacksonville for having a team, because without the team, I probably am not here, and most likely don't meet my wife of 26 years and our 3 daughters. So, I it's funny. The media came later. Like when I first, I was done. I knew I was done. I didn't want to be done, but I was done. Like it was over. My good friend Gil Polmar. Do you remember Gil?
Of course.
Banker, right?
Yep.
So he gathered all his friends. I never really told this story, but he gathered like 15, 20 guys, different industries, and allowed me to basically present myself to them. I'm no longer playing football. This is what my degree in. This is what I like. This and that. And it all came down. That's when I joined Phoenix Realty. My friends at Phoenix Realty, Newmark Phoenix Realty now, and was in the industrial sector for 2 years. I did fine. Like I made top 5 one year. It was great. I loved them, but I wasn't fulfilled. Like I'm just like, man, I don't. And I literally, I'll never forget. I was sitting in the parking lot. Their office back then was in the Independent Life building, right? I'm sitting in the parking lot outside that hotel, Hyatt or whatever it was, DoubleTree now maybe. And I called Dave Weidel, and I said, David, I said, what are you doing? He's like, I'm doing whatever he was into. And he goes, what was going on? I said, I've been thinking. I think you and I should be the first former Jag players to have a radio show. He's like, what do you know about radio? I said, nothing. He goes, well, yeah. He goes, you know what? I know some people over at the local station. I'll give them a call. Literally call me back. He's like, they're going to give us an hour. Like, just go in and try it out.
It's never that easy.
Yeah.
I know. Well, being Jags obviously helped. And we went in there. We didn't really rehearse or anything. And we just kind of, it went. And we were like, wow, that was really good. And next
I
thing
bet
you
the
know,
hour went by so fast.
it did go by fast. And then it became 2 hours. And then it was an hour a week. Or no, an hour a day. And then it became a full show, the Real Deal show. And we, so that's how it all started. Now, TV, I got to give my boy Sammy Kavaris credit, because when I got hurt in 99, I had that bad foot injury. It happened in week 2. So I was done. I was on IR right away. And so my season was over. And Sam came up to me and he said, hey, and then we'd already been friends, and he's like, I got this show and I do a lot of, the reporting. He's like, why don't you join me? And like, I think you'd be good at it. I'm like, Sam, I don't know anything about TV. And he looks at me and goes, hey, you talk to yourself in front of the mirror? I'm like, yeah, all the time. He's like, that's basically what it is. I'm like, okay, I think I could do that, And then we started doing that. I started doing the End Zone. I had, my own Tommy's Take on the End Zone for a few years. It was great, go to the sneakers, and, it was a live show, and Sam was awesome, always a professional, so then I just got the bug then, and then I'm like, man, I love this. This is, now my problem over the years is I'm never afraid to speak my opinion. And being from Chicago, my attitude can be a little bit rough at times, and I've ruffled some feathers inside the organization and out. It was never intentional. It was just passion and the way I am, the way how I view things. And I've learned that third and a third and a third, you get a third to like you, and if you can live with that, that's great. I've also learned how to not get so excited, and I got to credit Christina to help, because she would be like, dang, you really went off on the coach. I'm like, I know, but they were terrible at it yesterday. What do you want me to do? She's like, well, maybe just a little lighter. I don't know.
Tiny bit.
And I'm like, all right, maybe,
That's why you're good with us.
Yeah. Well,
because you're never going to be like that with your girls, and so you're never going to be like that with us.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, I love my women, no doubt about it, my lionesses, and you guys do remind me of being with them, especially at the dinner table. You just sit back and let them rip. What are they talking about? I don't know. They talking about something, dance probably, or school or something. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. And then chime in. Sometimes I feel like they're having their own world, and I'm just kind of out there, kind of hanging out, and they'll bring me in when they need me to come in, that
You're
kind
like
of
watching
thing.
a TV show for a minute.
Yeah. So,
and they probably are, because they're 3 girls all around the same age.
Yeah.
Right. And it's totally different generation than
absolutely.
than their parents. So,
yeah. They're it's been a blessing. All of it, just all of it, and then the speaking, and then the band, so I've just gotten into all that kind of stuff.
You got a lot of energy.
I do. Yeah, I do. I like the creativity, just coming up with different ideas and figuring it out. And it's funny. I know you guys say that I was your first choice to join you, and I believe you. When Steve called me into his office, I had no idea what he was. I was like, he never calls me. I say hi to him all the time.
You're like, what did I do?
Because I was doing Jaguars
What
today.
I do wrong?
Right, I was doing Jaguars today, and I was doing my podcast. I came in twice a week to the studio to do that, and then he's like, well, what do you think about joining Helmets and Heels? I was like, yeah, that could be cool. And I'm like, where'd this come from? And then it just, and I said, yeah. And I went home, and Christine's like, well, you going to do it? I said, yeah. I said, yes. I'm like, it's kind of like when I told Boston College I was going to accept their scholarship right over the phone. We're offering a full ride. I'm like, yes, I'll take it.
Where do I sign?
Yeah, where do I sign? So the gut instinct.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit telling me, yes, good move.
Well, it's been a blast.
It's been awesome. been awesome.
Just the beginning.
This year's going to be unbelievable. I mean, this season is going to be fun. Camp, I mean, camp's so close. Those poor fellas, man, it's going to be gone like in a night. They'll be in camp, next thing they know it. But I can't wait to get out there on the grass, as they say, and
we'll be
and
on the
watch
turf.
them.
They'll be on the grass.
Yeah, exactly. But getting up close and personal, watching this team, man, it's going to be a big, big year.
It certainly
Can't
is.
wait.
Yeah. And look, I think I'll speak for Taylor for sure too, but like this type of job it's so much fun, but it's not easy. It's not easy to come up with everything you're going to talk about, to watch everything you need to pay attention to everything. I mean, the amount of hours that we spend being inundated with information to be able to be prepared to come on the show, it's not easy. And so to have someone, though, that joined literally seamlessly, that almost never happens.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a while now. It almost never happens.
Well, let me just say this. When I'm reading sports articles, my ADD doesn't kick in. When it's something else that all of a sudden it's like, whoop. I'm on the freeway down in California somewhere. I don't even know. Going to Mexico or wherever.
No, I like that. I think that's well said. I think for a lot of us, sports captivate our attention when we're watching it live, and then we also, want to learn more about it. All right, happy and
So thanks everybody for listening
happy
too. We
Andy.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
thank you, everybody.
And
Awesome.
thanks obviously to Steve and everybody who puts us on the air every day as
That's right.
well. All right, so let's get into the Home Run Derby. On the other side, you are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
It's me, Frank.
Frank Franchi.
I just think about baseball.
With Hayes Carline.
How about that?
They are the Franchi Show.
What's wrong with this picture? You may not look like a winning team, but you are one.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
It's a Helmets and Heels Tuesday, backed by Morgan & Morgan.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Mike Dempsey. If you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
Anything can happen at the Open Championship.
Oh, he's done it.
Play fantasy golf against your favorite 1010XL personalities.
You could win $1,000 in jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Enter at 1010XL.com. Teed up by Endless Summer Roofing.
My name is Chris, and I'm a client of DexaFit Jacksonville. A scale only tells you your weight, but a DEXA scan shows you what's really happening inside your body. In just 5 minutes, I learned my body fat percentage, muscle mass, bone density, and visceral fat levels. Tracking those numbers helped me see real progress and stay motivated. Kelly and the entire team at DexaFit Jacksonville are knowledgeable, professional, and a great resource. Search DexaFit Jacksonville and schedule your scan today.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. For years, your offenses have been putting up a lot of yards and points at Fletcher. I hear Coil also gains a lot of yards in the fence world.
Yes, Frank. Coil Fencing has been serving the Jacksonville community and general contractors for 99 years. We fence tens of thousands of commercial and residential yards, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
99 years?
That's right. Some might call it a dynasty.
To schedule your appointment, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff, And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Renovations are underway at the golf club at Southampton, but that doesn't mean you still can't come out and hone your game. The practice facility is open Tuesday through Sunday with a great membership offer to work on your game year-round. Log on to golfsouthampton.com or check out their Facebook page. Work on your tee game, iron play, shots around the green, and of course your putting. It's all there and a great way to stay fresh until they unveil fresh new greens in October. Check it all out at the golf club at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, care starts with listening, one-on-one consultations, clear answers, and a plan built around you. Our orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine physicians, and rehabilitation specialists work together to treat injuries, manage chronic pain, and restore strength and mobility. From your first check-in to your personalized treatment plan, everything is designed to help you move forward with confidence. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, expert care, improving lives.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels. That's how it went down last night. And look, I think most people watching live thought Kyle Schwarber was going to take it home.
Yeah, right.
I mean, just a phenomenal performance and became the first player in the Derby to actually hit the home run on that last pitch. By the way, I loved the format being back to how it used to be. That 3 minutes or then 2 minutes, whatever we used to have.
See, I liked the time.
Oh, you did like the time.
Yeah.
I hated the time.
Yeah, I liked the time. I liked urgency. Like, and I saw a stat too that in the last 5 years, it's been average like 250 home runs they hit, and yesterday was only like 131. And I'm that's just because they're chill. It was too much to me, too much chill. Like I want to see more home runs. I want some urgency. I want there to feel like, oh, we got to go. And I saw a lot of people
from the last pitch. Like if you don't hit this home run right now, you're done.
Yeah, but you can like take your time, and like there were like no timeouts, but then they're letting them like step away and use pine tar and like whatever. So I just felt like it wasn't enough like energy for me at certain moments of it.
What about it being on Netflix?
Yeah, the broadcast was terrible. I will say that. Like the camera angles were awful. You've got to figure out a way to where we can see. Like I saw someone say, like, how about this? And it's kind of like that angled behind the batter to where you can see the pitch, you see the bat, and you see where it's launching.
I want a helmet cam. That's what I want.
There was too many moments where I was like, the camera is trying to find the ball it's up in the air. You can't tell like where it is in the field because it's just straight up in the sky. And so you need a different angle. It was kind of clunky to me in that. The Will Ferrell stuff was a little cheesy for me in the beginning. I don't think we needed all of that either. The intros we didn't need. I felt like to me the broadcast wasn't great. There were moments where I was like, oh, this is really fun. I just think that there are ways to do it a little bit better. And I think when it's a home run derby, you want as many home runs as possible. And they kind of took that away with the way they did it this year.
We could combine it and have both time and pitches.
Yeah, like different rounds maybe. Like have a timed round and then have like a 20, whatever, have an out round because they've done that before where it's like you get 3 outs, something like that.
I forget who it was last night, but he got hit. It was Wilson Contreras. He got hit by the pitcher. But I love, like, Cags had his dad, Jack Coglione. Obviously, if you missed it,
a couple of them had their dads.
Jordan Walker ended up winning, first Cardinal to ever win, which was cool.
Yeah, how about that?
That guy is an unbelievable hitter. Showing his parents was also so sweet. But
cool.
he just looked like it was so easy for him.
Wins $1 million too.
Yeah, and he only
makes under $1 million.
I'm going to say only in quotation marks, only makes 6, right under 800,000.
Yeah.
So $1 million matters more to him than it does
Schwarber, who's making 30.
Yeah, pretty much anybody else.
Yeah, and I like what he said. He's like, look, I hope this is a nice example for the young black kids out there that play baseball. We need more black kids playing baseball. I didn't know the numbers. Did you see it was like 6.2 or 6.8%? That's it.
Yeah. That's why Walk-Off Charities honestly was started. Which Frank would always obviously talk about that, and then continues to this day to talk about how we need to get more African Americans in it.
The opportunity.
And if you look at, I think it's the 1970s, like if you compare then to now, back then it was like over 15%.
Okay. I thought.
So, I mean, obviously
I was surprised by the low number. I guess I wasn't paying attention enough.
Yeah, because those athletes have gone to football and basketball for the most part, and that's what's taken away. Now maybe some will get into soccer.
And it's
we'll see.
Super expensive too. It's gotten more expensive to play because a lot of times you have to do travel ball and you have to do this ball and you have to do league ball and you got to get the bats and the gloves and the cleats and all this stuff, and it adds up very quickly for baseball. And the way you grow young, your glove you're having to change constantly, your cleats you're having to change constantly. If you're a catcher, the catcher gear, the amount of catcher gear you have to change. And like my brother played growing up from the time he was a kid, and the amount of money, I don't even want to know how much my parents spent during that time, because he did play travel ball and he played local league ball. And then before you get into school, once you're in school, you can play your school ball, but most still want to play travel because it's more competitive a lot of times. And
that's how you're going to get seen to be recruited and all that.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. And look, the travel ball it's necessary, like you said, but sometimes it's like, the one thing I don't agree with, and I don't think it's like across the board, but when coaches say, hey, if you don't, play a certain whatever in baseball, because you go play another sport, you're going to fall behind. Like, you think falling behind? There's no falling behind. You either can play or you can't play. We played every sport growing up. There was a baseball season, there was a football season, and there was a basketball season. Some kids played hockey. You know what I mean? That was just the way it was, and nobody, missed out on anything because they missed a season of something. If
they played one fall of football, and
all of a sudden,
you suck at baseball.
Yeah, right.
No, the year-round baseball, that's a whole other
retrieve a ball.
Rant, obviously. I totally agree with you. The diversity in sports is important because, I mean, for instance, like your muscles grow, you're going to work your different muscles differently based off of the activities that you're doing. Absolutely. And so every kid should swim laps to get in shape for whatever team sport or ball sport they're going to play. Every kid should do some kickboxing or martial arts, right? Like it should all be in there. All right. From the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, this person said, we wish we could have watched the Derby. Please give it back to a network.
Yeah, really.
904-641-1010 if y'all want to get in.
We're seeing a lot a lot of frustrated.
I understand because and I'll say this: if you're a sports fan, you probably don't have Netflix.
Yeah,
and not
because the majority of your watching is going to be sports.
Your viewership, and you're already paying.
Which
for...
now Netflix is getting more sports, so it's probably time to get Netflix if you don't have it, because we've seen fights, football now this coming up year, and baseball. We've seen a few different baseball games too.
But tonight's Midsummer Classic is on Fox. So the good news is the All-Star game you can watch. And
there you go.
Yeah, I understand not everybody has cable because they've switched, and most people don't have cable anymore. It's easy, obviously, if you have cable to watch stuff on Fox. But for people who cut the cord, it's easier to watch something on Netflix sometimes than it even is on Fox.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, we're in this world where you almost need both, though, and that's the problem, because it used to be like, okay, if you had cable, you got everything, so you weren't really worried about it, and then the people that cut the cable were like, oh, well, during the year I have to get Sunday tickets somehow through something, and you have to get MLB package. So there were ways to watch those major sports in some way, but then now it's to the point where you have to have those things, and you have to have Netflix, and you have to have Prime, and you have to have Peacock, and you have to have cable sometimes. So
Paramount, I think.
Paramount,
Another one from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Congratulations, Tom, on your anniversary. This is Mac on the North Side. I come to see you and your band.
That's right.
And I'm glad you came to Jacksonville.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. He does. He travels far.
I was about to say the North Side to a lot of beach shows.
Yeah, he has. He has. He actually made it to Iggy's once. I'm like, Mac, what are you doing now? Well, you got a long way from home.
Which reminds me, Dad Bod's not this Friday, but next Friday at Cole Haynes in Atlantic Beach.
In Atlantic Beach.
And it is at 7 or 8.
Yeah, one of those. Come early. I don't know. We can have a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. This one, again, off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. My niece can't live without Lauren's soccer talk. I refuse to let her be a Gator, though. Hey, I understand.
I get it.
I
wonder if he's a Knoll.
Yeah.
I would either say Knoll or Bulldog or Cane.
Yeah.
I was going to say the baseball owners are just taking a page out of the NFL owners. Let's stream it and make more money,
Yeah,
and that's
money.
I understand, why it becomes like that, but it is frustrating for someone who doesn't
I
want to pay
agree.
for
No,
another streaming
I
service to have
totally
to.
agree.
I honestly
They
didn't
don't
even
care,
realize
though.
it was on Netflix until I was going to put it on, and I'm like, why isn't it on normal TV? So then I Googled, and it was like only Netflix, and maybe have the option because we do see some where it's like you can watch like the World Cup, you can watch on Peacock, and it's the Telemundo, or you can watch on normal if you have regular TV. Give us options like that, but don't make people have to be like, you have to get this specific streaming thing for this specific thing, because it sucks and it's getting out of hand, honestly, at this point in time. And that's coming from someone who has almost every single streaming thing you can have.
Right. Yeah, no, it gets, what's enough, Did you see what the Seahawks are going to be sold for?
Yeah, and the answer is not enough, but there's never enough.
Did you see the number?
Mm-hmm.
Did
a
you
lot
see
of
it?
money.
Over
$9 billion.
Billion. Nine.
Sets the record. Wow. Yeah, it's a good timing considering they just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I was reading about Justin Verlander, who obviously is going to retire after this season.
Yeah.
Started playing in 2005 in Major League Baseball.
That's great.
And he was, asked about, have you ever been pulled from a perfect game? And he, of course, scoffed at the question. Why would you even ask that question? But it came with the stat. There was not a single pitcher who ever had a perfect game through 6 innings who was ever pulled from a game from 1901 to 2015.
Wow.
Never. Then in the last 10 years, it occurred 3 times, and it happened twice
in a week.
in 4 days last week. Yeah. So that's why the reporter, I don't blame the reporter for asking Verlander the question, but he basically is like, it's so sad that nobody cares about wins anymore for a pitcher, as a stat. Nobody cares whatsoever. And so, I just wanted to obviously bring him up because it's going to be the end of an era when he finishes.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of funny because in the sense we talk about this with the NFL when they pick and choose of player safety situations, but it is interesting because MLB, their reasoning is because we're seeing all this influx in Tommy Johns and we don't want our pitchers to keep having these arm injuries. So we're not letting them throw as many pitches. But at the end of the day, the guys, you want those wins. You just pitch your butt off for 5 or 6 innings and then you pull it and don't end up getting tallied for that win. That sucks. And
no doubt.
So, and especially because we've seen just so much more of it lately. But the MLB's argument is, okay, well, we've seen this huge incline in Tommy John in the last 5-6 years, and that's when you've seen that number also go down or go up, I guess, when it comes to getting pulled. So it is this weird conversation, but I think maybe let it be the pitcher's choice in a certain situation. Like if they're dealing, be like, you good or you not good?
Right. Go by how he's feeling.
Yeah.
By the way, none of us picked Jordan Walker, so we all lost last night. No Junior Caminero, no Schwarber, although he certainly was the closest.
I got to call Jack.
Yeah,
Caglione.
He had 8 kegs.
He hit it far, just not many of them.
Yeah, and Caminero had the longest home run.
490.
Yeah, but didn't win it, and so that's what matters. All right, Tom's take on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-400-6600 or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're like most of us here at 1010XL, you have a list of things you want to get done around the house before football season begins. Do yourself a favor and make an appointment today to check out Closets by Design's new showroom on Phillips Highway, especially the incredible garage. Closets by Design can help turn any garage into a custom organized space designed around your lifestyle and budget. Call 904-878-9393 to schedule your free in-home design consultation and get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and free installation. Or online, closetsbydesign.com.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on, temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Peaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at peachesdermatology.com.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with Renewal by Andersen and get $250 off every window and door. Plus, 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. With Renewal by Andersen, you're getting American craftsmanship, expert installation, and signature service. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. That's bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free design consultation. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday is
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
You know Zero Res, the zero residue carpet cleaner that leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt-attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. Don't risk it with the other guys. Skip the disasters that leave your carpets soaked for days and do more harm than good. Keep the mud outside where it belongs, not trapped in your carpets. This month, get 3 rooms of Carpet Zero Resified, starting at just $129. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, in talking about the quality of cut of a diamond, is there a particular diamond cutter that's known as the best?
Frank, the answer is yes, and that would be Hearts on Fire, who have the world's most perfectly cut diamond, and we have them now at Underwoods. When anybody comes in and looks at one of these diamonds, the first thing they say is, wow! That's because these diamonds are cut from absolute maximum beauty and are really worth seeing, so you have an idea of how good a diamond can really look. They have perfect polish, perfect symmetry, and perfect proportions, and are backed up with an American Gem Society diamond quality document. Now, not every diamond could be a Hearts on Fire diamond because only certain rough diamonds in the hands of the most skilled cutters working in state-of-the-art cutting facilities can cut these. In fact, only 200 diamond cutters out of the 1 million people employed in the diamond cutting trade are skilled enough to cut Hearts on Fire diamonds.
See Hearts on Fire now at Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Hey, Googans, Hicken here. You want to win wings from Mr. Chubby's or tacos from Taco Lou? How about some chocolate from Peterbook? All we need you to do is tell us more about you by filling out the 1010 listener survey at 1010XL.com. What kind of vehicles do you drive? Are you a business owner? What part of 1010XL do you like the most? We want to get to know you better so we can serve you better. Go to 1010XL.com, fill out the survey, and you could be a winner.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
We've gone 36 minutes in the 2 o'clock hour, and we haven't mentioned a name that got very disrespected, in our opinion, when Foye Oluokun. So right now, Tom, take it away.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial #law. That's all.
My take on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, is it's a bunch of crap that Foye Oluokun only received votes in the rankings by these executives and players and coaches, not even getting into the honorable mention. Look, there's a lot of good linebackers on the list. There's no doubt about it. I'll be honest with you. At first, I was like, what in the heck? That doesn't make any sense. You go through them, and there's a lot of good linebackers, off-ball linebackers in the National Football League. And I said to you, LB, I think some are Sam. I don't think any of them are Sam. I think they're Mike and Will, or they're playing a 3-4 like Edgerrin Cooper. He plays the inside on a 3-4. So these are inside, off-the-ball linebackers. Now, Roquan Smith, you could say, well, yeah, he's good. Is he number 2 in the league?
No.
I would say hell no. Last
year
he did not have a great year.
No.
He didn't. I know he went to the Pro Bowl. And by the way, Shahir didn't have a great year last year, and he went to the Pro Bowl too. So I don't know if they're going by year to year or overall work or what have you. Look, you look at Carson Schwarzenegger, had a monster rookie season, but is he better than Foye Oluokun? I don't know. I don't think so. Oluokun's done it way longer.
Yeah.
He could be a one-hit wonder for all we know. That kid up in with Cleveland. But look, Bobby.
Wagner.
What's that?
Wagner.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner's with Foye. I mean, they're right there with each other. That
but Bobby
doesn't
was
make.
hurt last year. So.
He still had a monster year, though. I mean, he had a really big year stat-wise,
Yeah.
Devin Lloyd's number 10. I love Devin. I think he's, I would have kept him. Is he a top 10 linebacker, in my opinion? I don't know. I mean, I might look at some.
Was he last year? Yes.
Last year
That's
was,
why
yeah.
I don't think you can't put Roquan there if you're talking about last year, in my opinion. And it looks like it is, because you're not going to say Devin Lloyd is one of the top 10 linebackers because he's only done that in one season. So to me, they're saying based off of last season, this is their top.
Yeah.
But then you put Roquan there, who
he didn't have a good year.
Terrible. Honestly, he was like not even in the top 30 of linebackers last year.
Well, then you could say that about Carson Schlesinger, although he looks like he looks like he's going to repeat it, but we don't know that for sure. He may not.
Right. The criteria isn't really defined.
No,
They
it's
say
not.
basically like they're not trying to have a projection. It's not a career thing. They're just trying to find the best players right now.
Yep.
Okay. To me, I think they should go off of last year. Like that should be the top 10 linebackers in 2025 were, and put it like that. And
Then
then
you could do
obviously
that.
honorable mention
Yeah.
and things like that.
But-
Because it's too wide open.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a mixture of them on the list, and that's the problem.
Bobby
Like if
Wagner's
you're
going in his 15th season. You think he's the exact same player that he once was?
No, right, exactly. Ernest Jones IV. I mean, he had a great year.
Yeah.
You kidding me? He's not top 10 from a year ago.
Yeah.
I think you got to take Roquan and Elshayer, get them out of the top 10 for last year. Now you want to say top 10 overall linebackers. You probably have them in your top 10.
And Fred Warner, if we're going off of just last year, because he missed a significant period of
He
time,
did.
wouldn't be at the top. Even if when he's on the field, he's incredibly talented.
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, and again, the criteria is not really set in stone. Like how are we doing this? Because if you looked at Fred, if you said, "All right, pick the number one off-ball linebacker in the league," you'd go Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Not based on last year, just based on the few years or 5 year, whatever. He's like he's the best. I mean, he's at least one of the best.
Yeah.
But you could say he's the best just by what he's done over the course of time.
Yeah.
Last year he was injured, so he wasn't as effective. When he was in there, wicked
He
effective.
was still effective, yeah.
But
and that's what the problem is. Sorry, Lauren. There's that mixture. This list is a mix of guys who just kind of have been penciled in because they've had the careers they've had. And then some of those guys are left out. But then you have some of the guys who have only done it for a year, and you put those on the list. So it's this weird combo. I mean, you talk about Bobby Wagner, the guy from the Jets that you like too, Tommy. I forget.
Sherwood.
Yeah.
Jamie
He was one of the best linebackers last year, but he's not on the list. But some guys that just had 1 years are. So that's the problem. If you're going to make a list, you either make it all guys who just career-wise, and if that's the case, then you're putting Foye on this list because you're talking about guys who have been the most consistent over time and at that position. Or you go to ones where you are basing it off of, hey, last year, this is what last year, this is the top 10 linebackers of the 2025 season. Then people would be like, okay. The problem is you have a mixture. You're combining two different lists together, and that's why people get frustrated.
I mean, you go by year last year. Jordan Brooks had the best
Jordan
year.
Brooks, yeah.
I mean, not all the backers probably. If you want to.
And Devin Lloyd's on the top of that for last year.
Yeah, for last
But
year.
yeah, if you're talking about a career, Foye Oluokun is a top 5 linebacker in the NFL based off of, and this isn't just our bias.
Yeah.
This is knowing how good he was with the Falcons before he got to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He's
Playing
leading the league in
playing
tackles.
playing on the weak side. Like he's done different things too, and has still produced the same numbers, playing multiple linebacking positions.
All right, let's take this list and we'll go through it. Who's top 5? Fred? Yes. Right? Roquan. I don't think he's top 5 anymore.
I don't think he is.
I think he's top 10, but I don't think he's
If this list is telling us the linebackers, and you're not saying a bad year, then he's probably on the top 10, but he's not in the top 5 anymore.
Yeah. Schlesinger.
I'd have him
Only done
outside the
1
top
year.
5.
I'd have him
Yeah,
outside the top
same.
5 too, but probably top 12, top 10, somewhere in that range. Zach Vaughn.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's up there. Yeah.
Last
Jack
year he
Campbell.
was ranked 3rd, by the way.
Yeah, no,
Zach Vaughn
he's a good player. There's no doubt. He's a wicked
third
good player.
1 year, 4th 1 year. I'd say he's consensus top 5. Jack Campbell last year was honorable mention, but I think he's
one of the best.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's
He'd be
top
up there if not right after that, like 6th.
Yeah, he's
So
right
we've
up
got
there.
3.
Al Shahir.
No.
No, I agree. Jordan Brooks, I would say he's,
Okay, so
he's
that's
in there.
4.
Yeah. Nick
And then
Bolton.
I'd have Foye ahead of Nick Bolton.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what his last year. He had an interesting 4.6% career run stop percentage. Leads all linebackers since he entered the NFL in 2021. What does that mean? He only stops him 4 points. That seems so low. Like, what does that even mean? right? Is 4.6% career run stop.
Shouldn't it be like 94.6%?
Yeah, like that's what.
Yeah.
You,
Maybe
then
the
you're like,
stats
yeah, okay, stop.
It's okay. Yesterday I was reading that NFL.com article from a season or after the season, and it said Trevor had 32 passing touchdowns and he only had 29. So sometimes these things are wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but if you go by that list, I mean, Patrick Queen, he's in the honorable mention. I don't think he's any top 5 guy, you know?
I also think, Tom, it matters the defensive front that you have in front of you and the secondary that you have.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
easier
sure.
for an Ernest Jones, for instance, with the Seahawks to be a better linebacker than it is to play for some teams that they don't have a good defensive front. Where,
Yeah.
like the Jets didn't get a single interception last year.
Right. Well, he got 5 on himself. Ernest Jones did, and did have 1 for a touchdown, like Devin. So for him to be just also receiving votes and Devin being 10th, that just doesn't make
Let's
a lot
fire
of sense.
all these
So
executive coaches and scouts.
Demario Davis, really good player over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was he top 5 anymore? I don't think I would put him in the top 5. He might be in the top 10.
10,
though.
yeah, maybe 10.
He's still
but
really
outside
good.
5.
Speaking of linebackers, by the way, today is Branson Combs' birthday.
Oh, yes.
All
I
right.
did see that.
Happy birthday, young man. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm looking at the other list. I don't know. You know, I like Zaire Franklin. I think he's a really good linebacker.
Yeah, at one point in time, he was definitely top
10 at least. Yeah, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I could see Foye in the top 7. 5 to 7, maybe, right? Today?
I think that's where we'd have him. Yeah. And
I think
instead,
that's
he's
fair.
18th, basically, if you go by all the ones
if
in
you go
front
that
of
way.
him.
Yeah.
All the
I
ones
don't know why he doesn't get the love. And like
Me
you
either.
said, in Atlanta, he was really good too. It's like it's not like, Atlanta's not a big market. They're a bigger market,
Right.
That's interesting.
It is
yeah.
weird.
Well, here's the thing. We love him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll take him all day long. And I'll just say this. Blitz him more. Get him some more sacks, and he'll move up the list because he can really get after the QB.
Absolutely. All right. By the way, tomorrow, if you want to go see Jags training camp practices, tomorrow at noon, season ticket members can register. They are free, but you do have to register in advance. And then at 1 p.m., tickets will go on sale to the general public. I will tell you, after the Miller Electric Center opened, the shade that you get at watching training camp practice now and your full personal owned seats, unbelievable in comparison to how it used to be.
I mean, fans have fans.
Yeah, and
There's
fans
fans
up above.
there.
Yeah, the huge fans. You could have a better viewing, honestly, better
It
viewing
is.
vantage
Absolutely.
point than we do on the field because you're a little bit higher up. You can see all the
And
fields at
end zone.
once.
Like
In
in
the end zone,
view,
right?
yeah,
Like,
it's
it is.
beautiful.
It is. If you're a Jags fan and you've never been to a practice, highly recommend it. It's warm, but like we said, it's shaded and there's fans as well. So go to Jaguars.com and register for those again, starting tomorrow at noon for season ticket members, and then 1 p.m. for the general public. More to do on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Wherever you go, we go. Those are the rules. I didn't make them up. Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices to listen anywhere in the world.
It may be the key to the whole plan. You get it? Got it. Good.
Get ready for PGA Tour champions to return to Hammock Beach Golf Resort and Spa for the 2026 Constellation Furyk and Friends, October 9th to 11th.
Hey everyone, this is Jim Furyk. Join us this fall for world-class golf, incredible food, live music, and an unforgettable weekend on the iconic Ocean Course.
Plus, don't miss country music star Billy Currington live at the Furyk Foundation concert on Friday, October 9th. For tickets and info, visit ConstellationFurykandFriends.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by Morgan & Morgan. For the people. Dial # law.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Neck pain, back pain, or headache, Shinatri Chiropractic has 4 locations: Westside, 103rd, Riverside, Arlington, and the Beaches. Acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy. Relief starts today. Shinatri Chiropractic, 743-6700.
Oh, it's a promise made perfect, gang, and it comes from Chad and Sandy. Your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it. They have the largest pool of buyers in the area. Their home selling program is designed to maximize your sales price. No long-term contracts, no costly repairs. You're in complete control. You need to sell now. Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. And they deliver on this promise. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. They're the local real estate experts I trust and recommend. No required repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts you can cancel at any time. Marine on Pace Island and Fleming Island. I needed to downsize to a single-story home, but my house in Pace Island had been sitting on the market for 158 days. Heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, gave them a call. Their strategy generated multiple showings. Day 2, my home sold. Full asking price, $449. It can for you, too. Go to chadandsandy.com.
When the world turns its attention to the beautiful game, the most passionate fans know the best seat in the house isn't always in the stadium. Modelo celebrates football and the world of nations playing for the cup. 48 teams, 104 games. Wherever you choose to watch, make it the best seat in the house with a Modelo Especial in hand. It's time to play for the World Cup.
Celebrate America's birthday all this month with a dozen roses from Kuhn Flowers, only $49.95. Buy any color or color combination. A dozen roses, just $49.95 at Kuhn Flowers this month. KuhnFlowers.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
So glad I found you, so glad that you existed.
Happy 1-year anniversary to this iteration of our show. 1 year ago today, Tom McManus joined us, and it's been all downhill having fun since then.
That's right.
All right, today is Cow Appreciation Day.
I was about to say another day to celebrate.
That's correct.
I don't know about you guys, but I am one of the people that when I drive by cows, I wave at them because I do think they're so, like if you walk by, drive by one of the farms and they're all sitting there and I'm always like, oh, roll my window down. I'm like, they're so cute. Have you ever seen the videos that they love jazz music? Have you ever seen those? So go Google or Instagram one day, like cows jazz music, and apparently they love jazz music. So if you play it loud enough by like a pasture of cows, they'll come up to the gate and they like love, I don't know what it is about that specific noise, but people have tons and tons of videos of them playing this and the cows just walk straight up. But anyways, it is Cow Appreciation Day at Chick-fil-A. So in Cow Appreciation Day, it was 7 a.m. today, but it goes until 7 p.m. tonight. If you go dressed like a cow, they said no matter how little or how much, so throw some ears on, paint your face, however you want to do it, you get a free entree. So that the entrees do include in this the spicy chicken sandwich, 8-count original or grilled nuggets, or the 3-count strips, and then kids get a free 5-count nugget meal. So a lot of good stuff there. If you just
Very good.
Little simple go.
Yeah, I love
wear
that commercial with the red cards. Remember, guys, guy's like, "We'll go out for burgers after." Hit them all with red cards. Get out of here! We're eating chicken.
We're eating chicken.
Yes, we do appreciate our cows for sure.
Oh yeah.
One thing Taylor didn't appreciate about the Derby comes now.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So I think the Derby yesterday was a little rigged, and this isn't just coming because a Cardinal won it, which I do not like the St. Louis Cardinals, but it was interesting. So I was in the kitchen at one point in time, and I'm watching the TV from afar, and when I glance at the TV, it says at the bottom, they're interviewing someone. I can't remember who they were interviewing at the time, but at the bottom, there's this thing, and it says Jordan Walker. It has the trophy, and it says 2026 T-Mobile Home Run Derby Champion. And it was at 10 o'clock that this popped up. The Derby wasn't over until 10:40. So I immediately was kind of like, did that say what I thought it said? And then I was also wondering, and I'm like, maybe that's a graphic that they're just kind of like maybe I read it wrong or whatever the case may be. So immediately I go to Twitter because that's what you do if you want some fast information nowadays. Right. You go to Twitter and see if someone screenshot it or whatever. It's on Netflix, so I was like, well, if it's not there, I'll just go rewind it and try to find exactly where that graphic popped up. So I go to Twitter immediately. There's people posting the screenshot of it, and so they're like, did Netflix just give away, like, spoil who's gonna win the Derby? And I jokingly sent it to some friends in the group, and then the way it ended, everybody was like, holy crap. Okay, this was rigged a little bit. Something happened because Schwarber hits 11 and everybody's like, oh, Schwarber's going to win. This guy, he hits the first. Nobody all night was able to hit one of those magenta balls, that final home run. Schwarber does it and everyone's freaking out. And then this guy comes and does it 4 times. And you're like, okay. Also, he didn't get all magenta balls. It was like a magenta, then a white, then a magenta, then a white. So I think they were giving him a few juice balls to help him win, which, whatever. I'm not that passionate. I love this guy. He seems really nice. His family was great. His grandma was great. His dad was funny. So I'm not taking away from that because it was a cool moment from him. And we talked about, the salary-wise, he makes under $800,000. Right. He made $1 million in this really cool. Schwarber makes a lot of money. It's also kind of fun because you have this little bit of, again, Philly fans are a little obnoxious, and they were booing everybody, and they were booing the kids in the outfield. And so there is this kind of like ha-ha to them because it's at your own park, and neither of your guys win.
And Bryce
even though I personally like Schwarber. Yeah, Bryce was awful. But so it was just interesting. And so as you go on, there's a lot of other tweets about, little things that they noticed during the Derby. And you were talking about how easily the ball was coming off his. And so when I sent it to one of my friends, like one of my bigger baseball guys, he was like, oh, yeah, those things were juiced. Yeah, they looked like rubber balls coming off of his bat, and the other people were swinging with, like, all their power. And Schwarber's one of the best home run hitters in Major League Baseball. So, and it was making it look difficult for him and then easy for Jordan Walker at certain moments. And so I think everybody got some juiced ones throughout the time, but I think they were helping a little bit with Jordan Walker at the end. And so it was kind of interesting. And I get it. There was a few of my friends that were like, why would they do that? You would think you'd want like one of the bigger star names to win. But I don't think so, because I think people love the underdog story, and people love we've seen that in the World Cup, how people start cheering for the guys that you weren't supposed to win. He was one of the lowest odds, so a lot of money was coming in on Schwarber, and everybody, they kept saying that during the broadcast, like, oh, he's one of the underdogs in this, and they kept showing his parents multiple times throughout the thing, and people don't really like Philly fans unless you're a Philly fan, and it was in Philly, so they got home field advantage, and all those things were going for them, and you get this guy who comes and crushes 4 at the end to end up winning, and it's this big dramatic thing. We know baseball is trying to get fans back, and that's a good way to do it if that's what they're trying to do.
The White Sox guy had never hit in that park.
Yeah.
I was like, that
so imagine that
fair in front of the thousands and thousands.
So, like all Schwarber's, if you looked at his, like he's played that park so much that you look at his home runs and you can tell like his trajectories where he knows how to hit in that park perfectly. He knows probably how to catch the wind in certain moments and do all of those things. But good for Jordan Walker. Like I said, you get the money no matter what. I just think there was a little bit something extra happening.
They went from the players being on juice to the balls
being on juice, which we've heard that the last few years.
Just let the players be on juice. It's no big deal. Let them go back.
Look, it's fine. Somebody pulled up when Sammy Sosa won the home run derby the one year. He hit like 50 home runs in one of the rounds, and I was like, well, there might have been some juice in there.
He was taking ejections in between rounds. Got to get through this one. Hit me.
Oh, I love it. All right. Since it's Cow Appreciation Day, let's give away some lunch.
Let's do it. You can already get some free lunch if you go dressed as a cow in any form or fashion, but you can also get free lunch for a future time if you give us a call right now at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 3, you get free lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. So give us a call and make sure you get that peach milkshake too. I keep talking about it, but summer's already ticking and time is running out to be able to grab that. And it is made with real peaches, that ice cream dessert that they have at Chick-fil-A. It's delicious and perfect for the heat that is hitting and going to continue to hit us the next month. So give us a call and you get free lunch.
I love it. Beauty. And we'll keep the conversation going on the other side. We've got just a few minutes away from kickoff between France and Spain.
Come on. Mbappe. Let's go, Mbappe.
Mbappe. Exactly.
Yeah, let's go,
Dembele, Elise. All right, more to do on the other side. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Ready to ride, guys? Driving all over Duval with sports talk made just for Jacks.
Fasten your seatbelt.
This is 1010XL.
Hey, it's Joe C. Wingstop just dropped the boneless meal deal for two. 20 boneless wings, choice of 4 flavors, a large fry, and 2 dips. All for only $16.99. Limited time. And while you're crushing that deal, get in the Club Wingstop loyalty program. 10 points for every single dollar you spend. Sign up now at 1010xl.com/Wingstop. I'm locked in. You need to be too. Wingstop, baby. Get the deal and get in the club. Bonus meal deal for 2 and Club Wingstop. Limited time only at Wingstop.
Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here, so don't wait for that first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems in those high winds. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to your own backyard. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday, protected by Morgan & Morgan.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
How do you beat a disguise coverage? Ask the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson. He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Checked by Encore Research Group and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $4,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting! Prosser here. The FIFA World Cup is entering its biggest matches, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. I'm looking at Argentina. They could win it all. They won't see France until the final game, and right now trading around 18% to win. That means a $100 trade pays out $514 if they win the cup. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market. That means there's no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code 1010XL. You'll get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 and over only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
I'm Jared Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Trustline Mortgage. Tom Herman, former coach at Texas, Houston, and FAU, will be joining the Florida State football coaching staff, according to On3's Matt Lassiri. Come join XL Primetime for a live broadcast this Wednesday in front of the 1010XL studios. Drop off diapers for JJ and get free wings from Wingstop. Tickets for the Jags home games here in Jacksonville are available on their website. World Cup action is back today. 1010XL has World Cup updates all day. It's 88 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and tip brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
The Jaguars, will they be performing Mbop by the Hanson brothers?
You guys are too funny. No, I highly doubt.
This is in honor of your Mbappe. Actually, I don't even know what you said. What did you say?
Zimbabwe.
Like
But then I saw
Zimbabwe.
his jersey, and it's easy.
Oh,
Mbappe.
good. We've got the match
Yeah.
on the semifinals of
Yeah.
the World Cup, so we'll certainly keep you updated when it comes to if there's any goals.
That's right. And you'll get 2 scores because one TV's 2 seconds behind the other. So we'll
You
go
just
score
celebrate
and
twice.
score. It'll be crazy.
Goal and then goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last year, since we're in the month of July, last year training camp for us and the Jaguars began July 23rd.
Okay.
This year
Figured
it
it was right.
begins July 29th for our part of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, players report earlier than that.
Okay.
Rookies
Our
report-
first viewing is July 29th.
That is correct. Our
All right.
first practice where we'll be standing there sweating will be July 29th. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the tickets for those fans that want to attend go on, or no, not go on sale, they're free, but they are able to
Available.
register tomorrow at noon. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when do they have the pads? Do they have the first pad?
They
of
don't
practice?
tell us that in advance. Yeah. They decide
They
that. I
have to
guess,
do
as they
certain
go.
amounts of days though.
They do,
Without pads,
yeah.
still is it
Yep.
3? It used to be 3.
I want to say it's like 5.
5 now. It might be 5.
I feel like we
now,
were out
yeah.
there for a while last
Yeah.
year before pads came
Yeah,
on.
I agree.
So
I
if that's
agree.
the case, it'll probably be maybe like a Tuesday, August 4th, because they have
Yeah.
the next day off.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So
it could
I
be
do
something like
remember
that.
last year
Cool.
when they sent out the ones fans were available. Like they sent a separate email saying, here's all the fan days that you could come out.
Right.
And I went back and I found that email earlier and it did say on one of those a padded practice. It specifically said it, but just on like to let the fans know
The
which
fans
day
know,
was going to
right,
be padded.
right.
But for us, it was just let's wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll tell us as
That's
we
all right.
go
Yeah,
along.
like you said, it's probably 4 or 5 days, and then they'll put them on. And they probably won't be full pads. I think last year they came out in uppers and
Mhm.
helmets.
Yeah.
Still can get physical, just not tackling to the ground. I think they saved that to the end,
Yeah.
right?
And then obviously we like to see if there's any sort of skirmishes that go on.
We
once the
look for
pads go
those.
on.
Yes. I got my eye on somebody that'll start something. I'm sure.
LeQuint.
Number
LeQuint, I was about
yeah.
to say.
I feel like we
Our
all
man
have
LeQuint
LeQuint.
knows.
Oh
him.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, so the British Open, the Open Championship, the 154th is later this week. So we've talked about doing our golf picks a little differently, which obviously
We have.
at some point we'll get together for
Yes.
happy hour
Right.
for the U.S. Open. But well, Taylor brought it up as far as like
Oh, right,
maybe
right,
not.
right.
So what we could do is finish this golf year, because this is the last major,
Yeah.
with still picking 3 golfers and doing it the way we've been doing it, or we can pick just one golfer for the Open Championship, the British Open,
Okay. And whoever finishes the highest wins.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm leaving the floor up to y'all.
I don't care. One is more, challenging.
Yep.
Just pick
Yeah.
one, right? So let's
Yep.
just pick one.
All right.
But maybe we shouldn't be able to pick. Well, no, I guess we can pick who we are. But we're going to flip a coin. Like someone's going to pick Scotty right away, I would imagine, or Rory.
He
Ours
can't take Scotty.
is without Scotty.
Okay, you can't
Anybody
take
but
Scotty.
Scotty.
Anybody, even
Which
Rory?
is interesting because he just missed
Yeah,
a
you
cut
can do
for the
Rory.
first time. But yeah, you can have
Okay,
Rory.
I'm not saying I'm doing Rory. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I'm picking him, but okay. Just anybody but Scotty Scheffler.
Anybody but Scotty Scheffler. That is
Okay.
I know we could
100%
probably
accurate.
pivot from that at this point because
Yeah, he didn't make
hasn't
the
done
cut,
very
right?
good
That's-
this year.
yeah.
It's not been his best year, that's for sure. So yeah, he could be in play. All right,
Okay.
we'll discuss
Yeah.
and decide.
Okay, we haven't made an official ruling yet on if Scotty's in or not. I say we make him in.
All right,
But then we got to figure out a way to pick because someone's going to pick him first, I would imagine. Or
well,
second.
Well, we
because
go
you
from the
lost,
last-
you
yeah.
get to pick first. So then it's up to you.
Thanks for the
whether you-
dagger.
Because he's
there,
pretending he
you know.
didn't know.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
I lost.
get
I
to
didn't
pick
know I'd
Scott.
lose on this show. I'm kidding. Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I go last once again.
Did you won last time?
Yeah, even
Is
though
that
we
how
don't
it
have a true winner, we just have really loser. But yeah.
Right. By the way, Christina asked me, I think yesterday, like, don't you owe the girls a happy hour? I said, yes, I do. I do.
Yeah,
We're
our
working out.
schedules have not aligned recently because you were out of town and then you're going out of town and then I'll be out of town and then you'll be gone. So yeah, we have. I think we're gonna have to do like a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Well, are you leaving Friday?
Mm-hmm.
You're leaving Friday.
Yeah.
So Thursday?
This Thursday I have a concert.
Who are you seeing?
Dylan Marlowe at Kickers.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right. The old Marlowe.
That'll be fun. Fun place to watch.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do it later.
We'll figure it out.
So next week I can. Yeah, we'll
figure it out.
Discuss.
You know what? How about on a Thursday that we don't have radio?
That works too.
Right?
Yep. I think that's on your birthday though.
Well, it won't be that day, but it'll be another Thursday, I would imagine, right?
So now we're into August.
Anyway.
We're August. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
We'll figure it
By
out.
the way, I did want to mention this. FSU announced earlier today that Doak Campbell's radio booth will be named after Gene Deckerhoff, a longtime play-by-play voice, and obviously also from right here in Jacksonville, Florida. So shout out to Gene Deckerhoff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Absolutely.
There are certain voices that just are college football to you.
Yeah.
Mick Hubert, obviously, for the longest time.
Yeah.
Gene Deckerhoff, Vern Lundquist, Keith Jackson, all those. And
Whoa,
some are
Nelly.
different. Some are national commentators versus
Sure.
play-by-play versus the team ones. But
Yeah, but Gene was great. Always gracious to take your, do an interview for you on radio or whatever. Always a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Really fun to talk to.
And called the Bucks for a long time, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The history that guy knows of football is just phenomenal. From
and he looked
FSU.
really touched and moved in the video
Yeah,
that they
that's
posted.
cool.
And the only, I guess, downside I'd say, Taylor, is the fact that it's Mike Norvell on the other end, not for Gene Deckerhoff, but for FSU fans that just have so much vitriol towards Norvell right now. I think they would have preferred it to be like a legend coach versus
like Mike Norvell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida State fans, that's going to be one of the...
Which would really only be Jimbo Fisher at this point in time because we lost
honestly, Bowden. Yeah, I feel like the Florida State, when it comes to this season, is going to be fascinating because, I mean, we know the buyout, and that's what's been kind of being like, okay, he's getting saved from this buyout. But if you have another year that looked like last year, can you realistically keep doing that?
Well, and we saw the story about how FSU was interested in Lane Kiffin, and they were willing to move money around for him. All right, quickly before we get to Lauren's Lane on the other side, I got an email from USA Today Sports, and it was asking for fans to vote on the best tailgating games, but obviously just out in the parking lot, just hanging out with your friends. And some of them I've either never heard of or I thought they were insanely stupid. So I just wanted to mention this.
Okay.
So a normal one, beer pong, absolutely. Bocce. Have you ever in your life seen someone tailgating playing bocce? Now, bocce on the beach, 100%.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I've never in my life, and I've been in a lot of
balls are rolling.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, when is it going to stop?
Even if you were playing on grass, that's
walking
still kind of
forever.
heavy to carry.
Yeah.
Either way. All right, so then
I love bocce ball, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
On
in
the
RV
beach.
City ever. I'll tell you
Same
that
here.
much.
Cards. I don't often see people playing cards, like sitting at
the
a
old
card
timers
table.
might be playing bridge inside the RV or something. You know what I mean?
Or
I can see that.
like I could see people doing like the Ring of Fire game or like just drinking games when it comes to that. Like my friends have several games where it's literally just drink. Like it's just every card means you drink in some way.
Game.
Yeah, pretty much what it is.
That's
So
a game.
maybe those, but I don't think I've ever played it at a tailgate. But I think you could make it happen at a tailgate. But that is an interesting one.
Yeah. By the way, Spain had a free kick, but
missed it.
went off the wall, and so still scoreless there. So good job by France as far as
What
on the wall.
about
cornholes?
yeah,
Cornholes. Obviously, I think cornhole's going to end up winning. Dominoes. I saw in here, and I was like,
Domino.
no one's ever played
Miss saying
dominoes
that.
while tailgating.
I miss saying that. That was good.
Giant Connect 4. You're bringing that to your tailgate.
At RV City, I've seen a Connect 4, but they're there a week. It's
Right,
you know,
that's
it's
a little different.
Yeah, a little different. Yeah.
Giant Jenga. I've seen
that.
those.
I played it actually with Master Chief on RV City. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
This one I've never heard of. Rally hoops. It looks like also a beach game, not at all a parking lot game.
You whip it and it catches onto a ring or something.
Same with like
that.
spike
Yeah.
ball.
Like a stick?
I've seen.
It's a stick that's you have to hang
Yeah,
it on.
I don't know. I don't have, but it sounds like something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, it's a stick. It looks
All right.
kind of like volleyball, maybe, but either way.
Quarters.
That's not
Anybody
one of
play
them.
quarters
Washer
anymore?
toss is one of them, but apparently it's like similar to cornhole. But it's got a picture of Bills fans playing in the snow, and that just seems crazy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
But yeah, so there's a lot of them that I was like, I don't know how this made it on the list, but that's very interesting. What's your
Is
favorite?
there? I was about to say, is there something not on there that you've seen people doing at a tailgate, like another game?
Flip cup?
Yeah,
I would say that's not on here, but
Yeah.
Flip cup's a very popular one.
for sure.
Oh yeah, flip cup.
Yeah.
Sure. What were you asking?
What's your favorite when you tailgate?
I don't really need a game.
Okay.
I need food and drink and whatever
music.
else we're gonna go into the game. You know what I mean? With music and whatever. You know.
Yep.
I don't know. I can't remember that last time I played like a drinking game. You know, I just drink.
Next happy hour.
I tell myself, drink, Tom.
Taylor will bring the cards.
I got a game. It's called Drink Time.
All right, Lauren's lane awaits on the other side. We'll get into some college football. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update. The World Cup semifinals are getting underway. Today in Dallas, France and Spain meet for a spot in the final. France have been dominant throughout this tournament. They have not conceded a goal in the knockout rounds, including a 2-0 defeat of Morocco in the quarterfinal, led by Kylian Mbappe's 8 World Cup goals, even with Lionel Messi in the Golden Boot race. Meanwhile, Spain coming off a 2-1 victory over Belgium in the quarterfinal, where they conceded a goal for the first time in this World Cup. Mikel Merino has provided the game winner late in each of the last 2 games, but Lamine Yamal has grabbed the headlines as the creator. On the right wing, the Barcelona superstar turned 19 just yesterday. Spain has had France's number in recent meetings, taking the 2024 Euro semifinal 2-1 in the 2025 Nations League semifinal in a 5-4 thriller. Spain and France have just kicked off. The winner faces England or Argentina.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Are you looking for a remix on the original Chick-fil-A sandwich? The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back for a limited time only this summer. It's a flavorful spin on a familiar favorite created with a Chick-fil-A chicken, a drizzle of honey, pickled jalapenos, and a spread of savory pimento cheese. This sandwich combines your favorite flavors with a new twist. Available for a limited time only, so stop by and enjoy the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich at Chick-fil-A today.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimnick forever, and they really are that good. You know, for 3 generations, Nimnick's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday
is served by
Morgan & Morgan.
Prosser here. Who are you? Really? 1010XL wants to know. Just by filling out the listener survey on 1010XL.com, you could win Jags tickets to the home opener, Gator football tickets, Jumbo Shrimp tickets, and more. All you have to do is tell us more about you. Fill out the 1010 listener survey at 1010XL.com. What kind of vehicles do you drive? Are you a business owner? What part of 1010XL do you like the most? We want to get to know you better so we can serve you better. Go to 1010XL.com, fill out the survey, and you could be a winner.
It's America's 250th, and Best Bet is celebrating all month long. Join us for America's birthday with exciting promotions, big jackpots, and over $700,000 in high hand giveaways throughout July.
And get ready for the Lips Poker Tournament Series, July 31st through August 2nd. Also in August, the return of the World Poker Tour with $1.5 million in guarantees.
Celebrate and win at Best Bet with nonstop poker action all month long. See all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Barry on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA, who's coming back? Dr. George Barry on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Why not celebrate your anniversary with a stunning eternity band or a pair of diamond stud earrings? Buy now and get up to 40% off. Don't miss this annual event. Best prices of the year store-wide. And remember, Beard's Diamonds is your local jeweler with over 4 decades of delivering the best value, the best quality, and the best overall experience. With no commission salespeople, no corporate sales quotas, and no nonsense pricing. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
I've spent 20 plus years around scoreboards, and here's what they don't tell you. Every number up there is somebody's story. So when I heard a number last week, I had to sit with it. Hacker here, Paige from Awaken 180 told me their clients just lost 1 million pounds. 1 million. That stopped me cold because I know exactly what my 120 was worth. Moving better, feeling better, down from over 300. Now multiply that feeling. My 120 is stacked in there with somebody's first 10. Somebody's knee that finally quit barking. Somebody stepping on a scale this morning and pumping their fist in an empty bathroom thanks to Awaken 180. That's not a stat. That's a whole stadium's worth of hometown wins. The scoreboard's still running. A doable program, a plan built specifically for you, coaching that adjusts as you go, and free support for life. 1 million pounds down and counting. The next win should be yours. Awaken 180weightloss.com.
Have you tried a Form energy drink yet? You need to, and it's available at Gate. 4 great tastes: Screamin' Freedom, Blue Blitz, Orange Fury, and Grape Smash. Form energy, natural flavors, natural caffeine, and electrolytes for hydration are a perfect blend for energy and mental focus. Find it at Gate.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Baby, could you just throw me a bone?
Good job, RJ. This is Dylan Marlowe, who plays at Kickers on Thursday night. A lot of his songs kind of start off slow like this and mellow, and then they go into much more like heavy drums and much more like rock and roll type vibe on the back half of the song. So yeah, I've gotten to see him once before at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. He opened for Bailey Zimmerman.
Oh, yeah.
Which, funny enough, to bring the show full circle, Bailey Zimmerman was wearing a Foye Lewickin jersey for part of the concert.
Oh, really?
And I was like, how does this happen? And Foye, the next day when I posted it, was like, how did he get my jersey? I was like, I don't know. I didn't give it to him.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was a great concert, and so looking forward to seeing him on Thursday.
Bailey knows.
That's
He's
right.
the top linebacker.
That's what I'm saying. Foye Lewickin's a top 10 linebacker.
Yep.
Do I think Bailey Zimmerman actually had any idea whose jersey he was wearing? Probably not, but that's quite all right. We love when they embrace Duval.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's for sure.
No doubt.
All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Going to talk a little college football here, as we now know the participants and the attendees that will go to SEC Media Days in Tampa next week, in addition to Frank Frangie and Matt Hayes. We already knew them as attendees, but for Florida, Jaden Baugh, Miles Graham, and Vernell Brown III. So in other words, you have a running back, a linebacker, and a wide receiver, no quarterbacks. If you scan through the list of everybody that's going for all the teams, several have quarterbacks, especially the ones that the names you know, Gunnar Stockton for Georgia, Marcel Reed for Texas A&M, and then Trinidad Chambliss for Ole Miss. And then there's a lot of teams that do not have quarterbacks listed as going. So that must mean that they have quarterback competitions.
Yeah, good.
I feel like LSU's not bringing their quarterback.
They are one of the teams that have linebacker, tight end, and linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which that one to me was interesting because Sam Levitt is their quarterback. So to not bring that quarterback is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I know I went with Coach Coughlin and Chucky Dukes. He was a running back.
To ACC?
Yeah, no, it was the Big
the Big
East.
East, that's right.
91. And it was at the Meadowlands. That's where they held it. But it wasn't big like it is today.
And then Tom Coughlin would eventually coach.
Yeah, coach in the
and win
Meadowlands. Yeah,
Super
no
Bowls
wild.
for
Yeah,
them. That's interesting. By the way,
You were definitely meant to meet Tom
I think so.
Coughlin.
Exactly.
I think so.
Spain was
in the
awarded
cards.
Spain was awarded a penalty kick. So Spain is lining up to take that as we speak. It is the 22nd minute of this semifinal.
Okay.
So we'll keep you updated as to what happens with this PK. Back to college football. There's a few major storylines ahead of SEC Media Days to watch next week. The SEC has not won a national championship in the past 3 seasons. Obviously, the SEC dominated there for a while, and that's a goal right then and there. So, Spain will now lead 1-0 over France. And, of course, the penalty kick was reviewed by VAR, and they agreed with the refs.
Just for the record, because I saw he knocked the guy down. So was that in the box, then you get the penalty kick?
In the box, If it's outside the box, it's a free kick.
Gotcha.
Inside the box,
it's
penalty
kick.
Yep.
Okay, makes sense.
The last SEC team to win a national title was Georgia back in 2022.
Wow.
And then I think Lane Kiffin just being with LSU and leaving Ole Miss when it was on the path to the college football playoff. That, I think, is going to be an interesting storyline. I mean, I'm sure at first they'll ask him questions about that, and then they'll move on once he's like, okay, I've addressed it.
Because one of the kids he's bringing is his daughter's boyfriend, by the way.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
linebacker.
Are they still together?
I think so.
Oh,
well, hopefully. That's
or
what
is
we
that
were
the brother?
I thought it was the boyfriend.
Maybe.
But because we were joking about it in the office, and I was like, he was like, well, I'm going away for a little while, so I'm taking you with me. You're not alone with my daughter.
Yes, that is the boyfriend. You're right.
It's the linebacker,
I know there's 2 weeks on the team. I couldn't remember which one. I didn't realize they were still dating, but then again, I don't pay a lot of attention to that. Either. Other storylines, you've got 6 new head coaches. Kentucky's Will Stein. I will say Ole Miss's Pete Golding is technically a new coach, even though he coached them in the playoffs, so that one's a little different. But Auburn's Alex Golish, LSU, of course, Lane Kiffin, and then Arkansas, Ryan Silverfield from originally Jacksonville, and then, of course, John Sumrall. So 6 new coaches is that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then last year, just to remind people, everyone in the media world predicted that Texas would beat Georgia to win the SEC championship. And in the end, it was Georgia that beat Alabama 28-7. So that one wasn't even that close.
Yeah.
We
How
need
you
something a
feeling
little
about
bit
the SEC this year? How you think they're going to be strong
It's
again?
not as front-loaded as last year as far as especially the quarterbacks are concerned. I mean, obviously there's a ton of talent, but I would say like there's not one quarterback that we all think can win the Heisman. Like Arch Manning, I think could potentially.
Yeah.
So, but this time last year we went through and it was like Lenore Sellers could win the Heisman. DJ Lagway could win. I mean, long shot, but still, it felt like there was more top-tier talent. Garrett Nussmeyer's of the world.
Yeah.
And then, I feel like this year, I mean, there's a quarterback on this list that I had never heard of. Kentucky, Kenny Minchie. I have never heard Kenny Minchie. So I think there's a lot of turnover, especially obviously with the coaches too.
And quarterbacks.
But I feel like, in other words, there's a little bit more parity as far as the league is concerned.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet any of my money right now on who's going to win the SEC.
Yeah, the front, I get so maybe Georgia, right? But Bama's not the same, right?
Texas, LSU has spent a ton of money. Georgia, obviously, perennial contender. Yeah, those types of teams. And then, you've got Alabama with people with questions with Kalen DeBoer and what they're going to look like.
I saw a lot of people kind of hating on because the On3 posted ESPN's like strength of schedule or the rankings is what it was. But people were like, this is why you have to stop doing that because they have like 12 SEC teams on this list. And then someone went back and looked at the ones from the last 2 years. And it was like 45% of the preseason ranked SEC teams finished the season unranked in 2024, and then 54% finished unranked last year. And so it's like it's like this SEC bias where you put a bunch of teams in there, and so everyone's like, oh, their schedules are all so hard because they play a bunch of teams who all end up at the end of the season unranked. That's why people don't like these preseason strength of schedules. But it will be interesting. I mean, the SEC has to be itching for one a little bit because you've now seen the Big Ten do it. You're seeing Indiana win a national championship, and ever since. Honestly, you haven't even seen a ton of competitive teams in the college football playoff since it's expanded for the SEC since it's been expanded. And so that's something you want to see, at least if you're an SEC fan of you want to see that kind of be a little bit more competitive this year in that sense. And so there is a little bit of pressure on that conference this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've never been a big proponent of preseason rankings in college.
They
I
don't
mean,
make
it's
sense.
just because a lot of times, not every year, but you could have. Now it's different with the playoff now, right? So if you're the 8th team, you're getting in the playoff, right? But they're back in the years ago, like you would never get to number 1 if they kept winning.
Yeah.
Like even you could be undefeated, and you're like never going to make that jump. And then they're like, well, your strength of schedule. And then
I guarantee Indiana wasn't ranked in the preseason rankings last year.
Yeah,
Guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Miami was ranked because they had Carson Beck.
Yeah,
and
they
all
were
those.
9th last year.
Miami
The
was,
preseason, yeah.
And that was too low, obviously, and as it turned out. But at least they were a top 10 team.
Yeah, Indiana was
Indiana, there's no chance they were ranked.
They had Penn State
It was-
2nd and 3rd last year.
Yes, everyone was really high on.
Yes,
Drew Aller
I
and Penn
remember.
State.
Yeah.
And then
And then
they-
their coach got fired mid-season.
Yeah, you go back and you look, and it's kind of honestly funny. The last 2 years, some of the teams that they did rank, but that is what it was for so long, was the SEC. And so I do think we'll start to, as the NIL and portal continue the way they are, you might start to see a little bit more. A little less SEC and a little more other teams, because you're seeing the gates kind of open. I was listening to Primetime talk about it the other day in the sense of Indiana and how Signetti, which obviously he's a fantastic coach. He just got paid, so good for Signetti. But you go in, you get these guys that are 21, 22, 23 years old, and so you have this older roster, and they're, a little bit bigger and stronger, and they can be maybe a little bit more competitive. Do you start to see other teams lean towards that? You're never going to see the Georgias and the Alabamas get away from recruiting, because that has been such a big part of what they do. And you see what Miami does right now. Lauren, I remember when you went through the portal rankings and the recruiting rankings, and Miami was one of those teams that were at the top of the both. And there a lot of those teams that we expect to be competitive this year sat with both of those. But do you see some teams that are like, hey, we can't recruit as well, so let me go get a bunch of guys that are 23 years old and just are bigger and can maybe outrun them or out physical them? Do you see some other teams start to do that? So it'll be interesting if people start to try and take the path that Signetti did this last year, or Michigan basketball did this last year, or Florida basketball did the year before.
Well, I mean, back to Norvell. I mean, the last 2 QBs were those portal transfers. They faltered. Indiana's didn't. You know what I mean?
You got to get them right, too.
Can you say DJ's last name?
Goglaway or whatever. Whatever. I don't know. He was terrible. I saw him live.
Ungalale.
Whatever. You know, and then
But the year before, when they were really good, he hit the portal like crazy and hit on all of those portal guys. So you do have to do it right. And I remember Nick Saban saying that on College Game Day one morning, where he was like, Jordan Travis.
I got all the names flying
Travis Hunter was originally committed to Florida.
No, I knew that.
So that's why I didn't know if you mentioned him.
But I remember Saban on one of the College Game Days saying, they were talking about paying the players, and he was like, you can pay them whatever you want, but you have to pay the right players too. So there's something in that. Yeah, Signetti hit the portal a lot and gets these older guys, but you also
get the right guys.
Yeah, you got the right ones,
sure.
and that's not always going to work for everybody.
Mendoza. He wasn't great at wherever he came from. He threw like 17 picks at Cal, right? I mean, it wasn't like you're like, oh, you got, but he saw that that kid could fit in it. Had something. I can make something out.
And then he goes first overall.
I'm fascinated to see what the Raiders look like this year.
I know,
Absolutely
me too.
fascinated.
Yeah, for sure.
So Brad Crawford, speaking of college football, he puts together some college football tiers as far as the college football playoff for this upcoming season. Front runners, dark horses, and up and comers. Just going to run through a couple of these. The clear front runners: Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oregon, Miami, and Georgia. Those are his clear frontrunners. Program leadership should prevail: Indiana, Texas. Then roster's worth a second look: LSU, Texas Tech, USC, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M. And then schedule assistance looms large when your schedule doesn't feature the week-to-week grind that the Big Ten and the SEC have. That would be BYU, SMU, and Houston. And then first-year coach hesitancy: Ole Miss, Michigan, Utah. Dark horses: Washington, Tennessee, Clemson, Louisville, South Carolina, Oklahoma State, and UNLV. The reason I wanted to go through all of those is, what 2 teams did I not mention in any of those tiers? Florida and Florida State.
Yeah.
That is a sad state of affairs that I just went through many different tiers, and I couldn't get to
any of those.
Yeah, they couldn't even make it to the dark horses or the up and comers. That is. So yeah, if you want to read more CBS Sports, Brad Crawford, he put together that list, and I'm not going to argue with it at this point in time.
We'll talk about some pressure USC.
Yeah.
You won
would
9, 7, and 8 games the last 3 years, and you sit at the top of recruiting every single year. You've got money to spend. You have Lincoln Riley, who, there's hit and miss, but a lot of people have been really high every single year when new coaches are being hired. Lincoln Riley is in the conversation of that. If he doesn't win more games than 9 this year, I think there's going to be some for real conversations.
Absolutely.
And then it just depends on how big his buyout is. And do they really think they can get a better coach than Lincoln Riley? That's the other thing. All right, the golden moment awaits on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Get the goods on Gainesville 24/7. Search 1010XL Gators on YouTube.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional-grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you, in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust, because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Covered by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
Homeowners running out of space in your kitchen, closets bursting at the seams, or maybe your bathroom just feels outdated and cluttered. At Harvest Construction and Remodeling, custom cabinets are what they do best. Owner Scott spent years as the main cabinet installer for one of the region's largest big box retailers. As a family man growing his own business, he brings that experience directly to homeowners like you. They'll create beautiful storage solutions that improve look, feel, and function. Visit harvestrenovations.com.
License number CRC 1331012.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fence and Rail is celebrating in true red, white, and blue style. For a limited time, save $250 on your new fence. Give your home the freedom, security, and curb appeal it deserves. Celebrate America with a fence built to last. Offer valid on new contracts for 100 linear feet or more. Cannot be combined with other offers.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations. And through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest. So everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
My golden moment today is going to be the fact that Spain is leading this match against France, the semifinal. Lamine Yamal, who we've talked a ton about, he's the very young up-and-coming star for Spain. He was fouled in the box, and so then I'm gonna try and get this right. Mikel Oyarzabal Sure. He was the one who took the penalty kick. Thank you. He scored the goal. So again, Spain does lead France 1-0. But one of the Spaniard players did just get a yellow card. And France has had several opportunities, not necessarily shots on goal, but several chances where they had one that was almost a breakaway. They couldn't score, and then had a nice shot on, not on goal, but just to the right of the goal. But France is certainly not going to go down without a massive fight.
No, right.
And they're putting the heat on Spain a little bit here in the first half.
Yeah, it's physical.
I will say, so something I just learned on Saturday.
I love these. They're
I learned
my
a lot.
favorite.
There's some that people probably are like, oh, I didn't know that either. And some are like, Taylor, I don't know how you didn't know this whole time. But I would get a little confused of who is who at certain times. And I realized that on the score bug under the team's name, it has a border, and that border color is the color of their jerseys. So, France has the blue line around where it says FRA with the jersey, and they're wearing blue. And then Spain has the white around it.
One. Yep.
And I didn't know that until Saturday. That's made things a lot easier.
I just noticed it. Thanks for pointing that out. That's cool.
I can barely see that, so I don't know what
they
you're
are
talking
both
about.
taking shots on goal.
Yeah,
They're not afraid to go for it at all.
Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to be
goalie
spent,
fell.
that's for sure.
Goalie fell.
From the text on Designed by
His
Lifetime
ankles.
Enclosures, going back to our tailgating conversation, just throwing the football is all I wanted.
I
Tailgating,
agree.
and
I
we didn't
agree.
talk about that one. That wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
They actually had one-on-ones, but I skipped over that. I'm like, other than kids, do you really see people battling it out? Maybe that's
Oh,
because it's so
gosh.
hot for a lot of our games too,
Right.
for Jaguars games. But yeah, I mean, I can understand just throwing the football.
Let the kids
is
do the
fun.
one-on-ones. The adults are going to blow out their Achilles,
Yeah.
especially with drinking.
You don't make it in the
Definitely
game.
don't want
You'll
that.
never make you go to the ER.
Another comment from the text line Designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Lauren, we're in Duval County. Do you really not believe people are playing dominoes downtown? What am I missing?
I did not know that, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess.
dominoes a big thing, especially, dominoes fun. It just
I
takes
like
a
dominoes,
long
yeah.
time. That
In
game
the house, not while I'm
Well, you go down to
Solid
what's the
dots.
square by the city hall downtown? What do they call it? It's an outdoor place. A lot of people hang out. There's people playing cards, playing dominoes
Yeah.
out there. You know what I'm talking about? It's like right in Laura.
on Bay Street?
No, it's not Bay Street. It's
Oh,
in a
okay.
little bit. It's Forsyth and wherever City Hall is, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
You know that park right
Yeah.
there? Yeah, a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
people out there playing some domino.
I know in Riverside,
I
it's
might start
Memorial
seeing some
Park.
extra dots. If I'm
Right.
I love that. From the text line Designed by Lifetime Enclosures, this person just gave us his top teams, his or her top teams.
Okay.
Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson. Wait, was this last year's? Because I
It
feel like Penn
sounds
State
like
wouldn't be
last
up
year.
there.
At the
but
top?
yeah, and then Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU. I thought it was this year's. They were predicting this year's teams that were going to be in the college football playoff, but I don't think you'd have Penn State. Was Clemson fourth last year?
Let me
That
go back
seems
to look.
high. So maybe
Let me see.
the
They were
preseason?
high. They were high.
they were high. Yeah, the
Yeah.
media was high on
Clemson was fourth last year with Texas, Penn State, Ohio State.
Okay, so this
Clemson.
was last
This
year.
from last year.
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought this was a prediction of this year's.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays it's almost impossible to predict. Like you're going to see a lot of people think Texas Tech is a top 10 team just because they've spent so much money in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So the ESPN one did not have Clemson. They had them ranked, but they were 11th on
Okay.
the ESPN one last year, which was the one that I was talking about the SEC having multiple ranked teams, but they had last year Texas, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Miami, Tennessee, Clemson, LSU, Ole Miss, Auburn, South Carolina were the top 15.
And yeah, everyone was obviously high on South Carolina because of Lenore
Sellers, yeah.
Sellers, and it didn't have the best season. But if he backs it up this year,
Yeah.
certainly, I mean, South Carolina could be maybe one of those dark horse teams.
And he could turn it around for himself, right? He was
Yeah.
one of those guys who was really high in everyone's list, and then he just didn't have the best year, So maybe he can turn it around and have his final year.
Yeah.
Be a strong one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so it's still 1-0 in the 41st minute. We've already had the hydration break, so halftime is nearing upon us. I would imagine maybe around 6 minutes of stoppage time at this point in time. That's one of the fun things when you get
Just
into
guess.
soccer. Is
That's a drinking game.
You
Yeah,
could
see who's right.
try and figure out. Don't drink for the full stoppage time, but like chug. But you could, try and predict the stoppage time
Yeah.
minutes based
Yeah.
off of everything that's gone on.
We were saying that during the Argentina game, and I was like, well, if Argentina's winning, they'll get It will be like +3. If Messi's losing, they'll get like +11.
Yeah, 10 extra minutes of stoppage time. Sometimes it happens. You never know. All right, we'll keep you updated with the World Cup. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 10 to XL, 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Hey, I know how awful it is to get injured out there, but never due to someone else's negligence like many of you. If this speaks to you directly, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the nation, over 1,100 lawyers, offices all across the nation, over $30 billion recovered for all of their clients. Guess what? They don't get a single dime unless you do. A proven track record with backup. I know that's hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. And you get injured due to someone's neglect, you get paid. Dial Pound Law yourself or check out forthepeople.com.
Truck accidents can happen and can be devastating. Founded in Jacksonville, Edwards & Raggets is proud to serve the 904. If you've been seriously injured in a truck accident, protect yourself and your family by understanding your rights and legal options. Our attorneys are experienced in handling complex truck cases and can guide you through this. No fees unless you recover damages. Call 904-INJURED or visit 904injured.com.
Edwards & Raggets, offices Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make sure your property is ready. Weak, damaged, or overgrown trees can become a serious hazard when storms move in. Trust the experts at Lucas Tree Service with over 45 years of experience for professional tree trimming, removal, and storm preparation. Don't wait until a storm is on its way. Schedule your tree assessment today at lucastreeservice.com.
Jeff Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup, and that's why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. If you want it done right, the first time, get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
My name is Chris, and I'm a client of DexaFit Jacksonville. A scale only tells you your weight, but a DEXA scan shows you what's really happening inside your body. In just 5 minutes, I learned my body fat percentage, muscle mass, bone density, and visceral fat levels. Tracking those numbers helped me see real progress and stay motivated. Kelly and the entire team at DexaFit Jacksonville are knowledgeable, professional, and a great resource. Search DexaFit Jacksonville and schedule your scan today.
Hunting season in Northeast Florida is just around the corner, and Green Acres Sporting Goods has been serving Jacksonville hunters for over 55 years. And right now, you can lock in a summer deal on an AR-style 12-gauge shotgun for just $299. And while you're there, check out the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida and test shoot the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews. Shop today at Green Acres Sporting Goods.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, Just call me First, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
6 minutes of stoppage time was accurately predicted. So yeah, drink your water out there. Stay hydrated. Your water, your Gatorade, whatever electrolyte mix you've got. Taylor Dahl is here. Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Tuesday afternoon. And Spain does still lead France 1-0, and it is, like I said, 6 minutes of stoppage time. It's about 5 minutes remaining in the first half. All right, we've been talking, of course, as we always do, a ton of football. And whenever it comes to football, I feel like the easiest thing is to look at stats, right? That's whenever you have a conversation with someone, if I feel like they don't maybe watch as closely, the easiest thing for them to do is, especially if it's not their team, just look at the stats. So we talk about it for quarterbacks. We obviously talk about it for pass rushers. Well, I feel like someone that we should listen to about whether certain stats are important or not would be someone like a Cam Jordan, who's played in the NFL now for what, like, is going to his 19th year or something?
In the 1870s, he's massive.
Like Calais Campbell has been in the league for a very, very long time. So Cam Jordan was on the Julian Edelman podcast, and he basically said that sacks are not everything.
I think a sack is an overrated stat.
Is it overrated? What do you think's better, TFL?
Playing the actual game. Winning the game is what's important, but some guys get so caught up in like, I got to get sacks, and we look at it like, oh, he's the best because he had 19 or 20 or 22 sacks, but he's not worth a damn in the run, but we don't talk about it. He's the DPOY, but he's a liability on the outside zone stretch plays.
Yeah.
He's the best, but he swims B gaps and C gaps, and like the linebackers hate him, but you'll never know it.
He's the best, but he runs past the quarterback all the time because he's trying to get around the hump.
He does 11-yard hump.
Playing Lamar Jackson, and he can run for 40 yards, and it's man coverage. That's his gap, and it's 3rd and 12, and the team shouldn't have any shot of getting that 3rd down, but you ran past the quarterback. But you got to sack the play before.
Right. You look at the stat sheet, he's like, he killed it. What else did he do for the game? What impact did he have on the game? Is he a game wrecker? Absolutely. Strip, sack, fumble? Nothing like it. But liability in all other phases? Does that actually help your team win? Or now we're just praising you for the splash plays that you can't create?
I agree.
Well, I mean, look, look, if a guy can rush the passer but can't do anything else, yeah, he's not a complete player. But let's be honest, Cam Jordan wouldn't be recognized as one of the best without his 132 sacks.
Yeah.
132 sacks. And Cam
it's easy to say when you can get a lot of sacks.
He is all-around player, though. I get what he's saying. He's like,
For
look,
sure.
if you're just going to rush the passer, we know we could, like, Ngakoue, I loved Ngakoue, but you could run at his ass, and he couldn't stop you. It was just, he was too light, but he could rush the passer. So, I don't know. Look, again, last year was all about pressure and pressure rate and win success rate. And look, those things matter, but so do sacks.
Yeah.
They matter. TFLs matter.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at a middle linebacker and he's got a ton of tackles, I want to see where he makes the tackles.
Yeah.
Because you can make a ton of tackles just by hustling, but that don't mean you're stopping them at the line or behind the line.
15 years, by the way, you were right.
15 years, yeah. I mean, he's an absolute, but he is an all-around player. So a guy that can say, I get that. I get what he's saying. Hey, man, I'm not just a 132 sack guy.
Yeah.
I'm great against the run. I'm great
I
at
can do all of
everything. So that makes sense for him.
And I do think there's certain, like, it reminds me a little bit of a recent example being a Jared Verse. So Jared Verse coming out of college when he was being drafted, everyone was saying Dallas Turner was going to be so much better because he was a true pass rusher. And then there was other people, I was kind of in the camp of, okay, I think Jared Verse can still rush the passer. He's not as elite as Dallas Turner was in college, but he's also really good against the run. And so that's something I think you've seen early on is Jared Verse. Are you expecting him to be that guy that's going to have 17, 18, 19, 20 sacks? I don't think so. But what you are going to see is maybe a year like this year where you're seeing 7, 8, 9, 10, but then he's really good against the run and he can kind of play all over the place. And to me, that's fine. And so in a sense, I that's where I hope Cam Jordan's going with this, because when you are paying to be a pass rusher, you want them to be able to sack the quarterback. And I don't know if there's anybody on this list, when you look at the sack leaders from last year, that you would be like, oh, you wouldn't want them on your team right now. Myles Garrett, Brian Burns, Danielle Hunter, Aiden Hutchinson, Nick Benito, Michael Parsons, Josh Sweat, Will Anderson, Byron Young, Jeffrey Simmons, Cam Jordan, Max Crosby, Chase Young. Like, you have to go pretty down that list of sacks. That's just sacks. And then you look at the tackles for loss, and most of those guys are
the leaders.
in that.
Miles the
also.
leader. Yeah, he's
Miles
leader
Garrett's the
of
leader.
TFL
Max
and
Crosby,
sacks.
Brian Burns, Will Anderson, Jeffrey Simmons, Cam Jordan, Daniil Hunter, Alex Highsmith, Nick Benito. So it almost matches. There's a few guys in that TFLs that didn't get the amount of sacks towards the top. Eric Wilson from Minnesota was one of those guys that sat up there. Trayvon Moore out of Carolina was one of those guys. But for the most part, the top 20 in sacks were also top 20 in TFLs, and were also probably the top 20 that you would talk about in the NFL right now. Also,
Listen, you got to have a complete game.
And Morg's a safety. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you you look at Josh Hines' Allen game, he's all around a very good player. There's no doubt. Get 4 or 5 more sacks a year, and you're one of those elite players.
Yep.
I mean, nobody really talks about TFLs unless you really look for them. I mean, Brian Burns. Look, if Brian Burns didn't have all his sacks, the only people that would know him would be the Carolina Panther fans and the Giant fans. Nobody else would know who Brian Burns is. You have no idea who he is, but you know who he is because every year he's at the leaderboard of
16
getting
and a half
to the
sacks,
quarterback.
22 tackles for loss.
Yeah, I mean he's a
7
monster.
passes defended.
Yeah. By the way, we have made it to halftime. So
Okay, we did
Spain,
it. We made it.
Yeah, we made it. Spain leads 1-0 over France as we do head to the half. Let's now say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes Carline joins us now. Hayes, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you as well. We've been talking about all the Jaguars that didn't make the top 10 list. As I feel like most of us expected, it was just before we saw the linebackers one. That's the one where I thought, okay, maybe Trevor in the top 10, maybe not, probably not. But Foye Oluokun, 100% is going to be in the top 10, and then he's not.
Yeah, it's. I think it's just it comes back to they've got to do it again. These are just people that work in the league, executives saying, I mean, it's a league where until you've proven that you're not a fluke, you're just not top of mind.
That's right.
I mean, you just aren't. And so, if they're good again, all the accolades will come. But, I mean, I think most people around the league believe there's a good chance that they're going to regress based on the franchise's history. And, and so they're just not top of mind. And I think when people are polled, they just don't have a lot of guys that you would just instantly think of as, well, obviously this is where this list starts. And, again, hopefully it'll change. But yeah, I'm not surprised. It's not a quality roster because of the stars on the roster. It's quality roster because they have so few holes.
Yeah.
And which I think is a better place to be in than having 3 or 4 megastars that are in the top 5 of these lists at certain positions, but then you've got massive drop-offs everywhere else. So, I mean, again, I think they're in great position. I'm not surprised they didn't get a lot of notoriety on these preseason lists, but I still think they're very well positioned to deal with the attrition that is going to come with an NFL season. So, we'll see.
We shall see what's coming up.
Yeah, band's back together. So that's it. We'll just pretty much get caught up on what's been going on in each other's lives. We'll talk Jags, SEC Media Days next week, which Frank will be at. So we'll start to peek ahead to that. The ACC going on this week. So lots of college football, lots of Jaguars. It's football time. And we'll keep you guys updated on France and Spain. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
Hayes. I went back and looked, Taylor, at the data that you referred to earlier as far as when I did the transfer portal rankings and the recruiting rankings, and I combined them.
Yeah.
So the top team was Miami, and then Oregon, LSU, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, and USC were the top 10. FSU was 11th, and Florida was 16th. So if you're talking about just the talent on the roster, those teams should be better than they are. We shall see.
Yeah,
all right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show with the gang back together is next.
Boots are gonna walk all over you.